All right, welcome. So, we're here in Santa Barbara, and you might be wondering, well, weren't we in North Las Vegas yesterday? And yes, we were. I flew from North Las Vegas to Santa Barbara, and realized or discovered upon having successfully landed at runway 25 that I forgot to turn my microphone on. So, I'm reconfirming now. Microphone is on, microphone is... Yeah, now I'm back. Anyway, I hope it's recording. You'll also note that the Microsoft Xbox Game Bar is now working, which is encouraging news. I had found a few threads, I think on Reddit, that said that it had something to do with a Windows update. Other users were experiencing it, but it's working now, so that's the good news. We're going to do a full flight today because it's Saturday. And I already flew this morning into Santa Barbara, and now we're going to fly back home to my home airport in John Wayne, Orange County, KSNA Kilo Sierra, November Alpha. So let's get in the cockpit. Cold, dark. We'll fix the camera since we know that's the latest little bug. It's a little bug. You hear thunder in the distance. We do have some showers, scattered thunderstorms. Had hail, a little hail today. So always fun to fly in weather in our beloved TBM 343 Whiskey Bravo. All right, let's get going. Enough lollygagging.
TAWS system test. Okay.
Clearance delivery Dr. November 343 Whiskey Bravo IFR to John Wayne, ready to copy.
Dear November 343 Whiskey Bravo is cleared to John Wayne Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 25 climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.05 squawk 4102.
All right, 9,000 feet. We're doing a low altitude IFR flight down there, so we're I think cruising at 13,000 feet.
Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 25 climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure on 119.05 squawk 4102.
Lightning today. All right, so that's that.
Bravo, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.7.
Let's go ahead and contact ground. Looks like we may want to get pushback on this one. Ground services first. Request. Whoops. Request pushback. There we go. All right, we'll deactivate our emergency brake so that they can push us back.
November 343 Whiskey Bravo pushback request accepted.
Imagine it might be a little awkward trying to do pushback if you have your emergency brake or parking brake engaged. Go outside and look. I guess the weather's a little more clear up in Santa Barbara than it is down here, but it's been kind of like this all day. Like the skies will be blue and cloudy, and then an hour will go by and it's hailing and it's dark. So it's been that kind of weather. Whoops. This pushback bug has presented itself more than once. It'll fix here in a second. And she'll jump over there and start pushing us back. There we go. Good. Winds are out of the west today. Pretty much what you'd expect with a cold Pacific storm like this. Wow! That was a heck of a thunderbolt. Or heck of a lightning bolt, presumably. We don't have a lot of gas, as you can see. We'll go back inside. We'll stop pushback now, too. They're just going to push us all the way to San Diego. All right.
Santa Barbara ground Dr. November 343 Whiskey Bravo requesting the end of pushback.
Okay.
November 343 Whiskey Bravo request to end pushback received.
All right, so now we'll go back to clearance and request taxi IFR, and while we start up the airplane.
Santa Barbara ground Dr. November 343 Whiskey Bravo with uniform ready to taxi IFR.
Dear November 343 Whiskey Bravo taxi to and hold short of runway 25. Contact tower on 119.7 when ready.
Remember, we'll wait for this number to get to 13, like right now. Good. Go to low idle.
Taxi to and hold short runway 25.
Re-engage our parking brake.
Bravo.
Aural warning, okay.
Santa Barbara Tower, Doppler November, Tree 4, Tree Whiskey,
Wait for this to
Bravo,
turn green.
runway 25 ready for takeoff IFR to John
Not
Wayne.
much gas, but we don't need much on a short flight.
Doppler November, Tree 4, Tree Whiskey, Bravo, cleared for takeoff, runway 25.
Good. Activate inertial separator.
Cleared
Pitot
for
heat.
takeoff, runway 25, Doppler November, Tree 4, Tree Whiskey, Bravo.
Sync our altimeter to 9081. Good. Set our vertical speed at 800 feet, 1800 feet per minute. Sorry. And let's get going. You'll see here our flight path, the route we're taking. Pretty standard. Any approach into John Wayne, Orange County, fly over Santa Monica, Malibu, head out over the water towards Catalina, and then parallel to Long Beach, hang a left over Seal Beach, KSLI, SLI is Seal Beach, VOR 115.7, and then we flip a UE. We'll fly over Snake, that's my house, and Hookham, Lemon, and KSNA. At Snake, we need to be at 3,400 feet. At Hookham, we need to be at 2,800 feet, and at Lemon, we need to be at 2,200 feet. John Wayne's airport elevation is 56, and the runway to which we'll be landing, or on which we'll be landing, and to which we'll be heading, runway 20 right, that is an ILS runway frequency 111.75. Had or noticed a few bugs in the ILS approach to John Wayne recently, so I'm going to be keeping a sharp eye on that. And it's time to go. So, disengage the parking brake, pressurize the airplane. Let's go. We look outside really fast just to see which. Where's my taxi ribbons? Okay. I have to. I assume we're taking off from runway 25. We are. Runway 25 right here. So this is a nice short trip. We're just gonna flip or turn around, go right here. Use our pedals. Follow where you are, right here. If we're not going to get taxi ribbons, I don't know why we're not getting taxi ribbons. We should be getting taxi ribbons. Almost hit that van. We're not getting taxi ribbons though, so regardless, it pays to be able to know how to navigate the airport. And once we get airborne, or get up to our cruising altitude of 13,000, 13,000 feet, it'll be a pretty quick trip down to John Wayne, Orange County. This airport has an offset threshold. I don't know if you can make this out, but these arrows, you can't land on them, but you can take off from them. So we'll do that. Taxi lights. You know what? I'm going to save a little bit of time. We got a nice long runway. There's no reason why we can't take off right here. Runway 25. We'll taxi or contact tower. Clear for takeoff. I think that explains why we didn't see the taxi ribbons. We were so close, apparently, to the active runway that ATC AI just assumed that we were already there. So I think that's what was happening. Make sure nobody's on final. No, I did turn off real traffic just because it is like an airplane convention in Southern California right now. You should have seen the setup page. I mean, which, as you know, shows you all the airplanes in the vicinity of wherever it is you intend to fly, and it was just like a sea of green dots. I figured this would keep ATC quiet. It gets annoying, constant, non-stop chatter. All right, here we are. All lined up for takeoff. We'll zoom out here on our MFD. These are pedals here, stop. Winds are 4 knots from basically in front of us, not too dramatic. I'm going to take off using my rudder pedals, which I'm still tinkering with the sensitivity settings, so apologies in advance if we lurch left or right too much. But you got to learn, and I'm working on it, on tweaking it so it's just right. Anyway, let's stop talking and start rolling. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. 60 knots. 80, 90, and rotate. That was actually pretty smooth. Gear up. I'm gonna hand fly this departure. Flaps retracted.
Delaware 3 Whiskey Bravo, contact Los Angeles Center on 119.0 flight.
Start that left turn.
Going to 119.05 Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo. Los Angeles Center Docker November Tree 4 Tree Whiskey Bravo is at 1,100.
Climbing 140 knots, that's good. Just making a left turn towards the southeast.
Los Angeles Center, continue descent as planned. Altimeter 29.80.
Pretty aggressive climb rate. Keep it about 1,800, 2,000 feet per minute. Just keep that nice left turn going. Keep the passengers from getting sick. Saw a little ITT alert there that we jumped right on. It was no problem. Keep that nice gentle left turn going. Doing this by hand. I don't typically do this, but I guess I should demonstrate occasionally that I can fly an airplane by hand. 180 knots. Maintaining a nice vertical speed right now. 1,900, 2,000 feet per minute. I'm not guessing, that's actually on the PFD. I'll show you here. Keep my left hand on the stick, right there. That tells you the altitude, your number of feet you're climbing per minute. Let's kill those landing lights. She keeps drifting there a little bit to the right. You can see over here on the MFD this magenta line. We're headed towards that. We'll intercept that shortly. And once we get a little bit closer, I'll activate, or I'll arm nav now, but I'll activate it with the AP button right here. We'll activate our yaw damper now as well. And deactivate our inertial separator. Everything's looking good. Airspeed stable, 170. And flying now, autopilot not engaged. A little torque percentage annunciator going off there. That was that flashing red and white that you saw. Climbing nicely, 7,500 feet, 173 knots. I'll go ahead and engage the autopilot. There we go. Hands off. Autopilot's handling things now. Engage the FLC. It's a good climb speed we're at right now, 176. You see now the airplane is turning to intercept the magenta line. We'll zoom out here a little to see, kind of see we're going southeast. Obviously Santa Barbara is northwest.
Delta 3 Whiskey Bravo, climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
13,000 feet, as I said, is our cruising altitude.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Delta 3 Whiskey Bravo.
I've just used the altitude selector button. This is a knob.
Delta 3 Whiskey Bravo, contact Los Angeles Center on 135.5.
35.5, near Whiskey Bravo, good day.
135.5 Delta 3 Whiskey Bravo.
LA Center, this is Derek Cruiser Bravo with you at 9,800 for 13,000.
343 Whiskey Bravo is at 9,800 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Delta November 343 Whiskey Bravo, Los Angeles Center, continue to Santa as planned. Altimeter 29.79er.
Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I use the altitude selector button right here, which is basically just like a knob on a radio, and it changes this number, which is the altitude to which you're either climbing or descending. Oh, we got a 35 knot tailwind. That's great. We're gonna get home even faster than usual. This will be a very quick flight. Still hearing lots of thunder. Happily, though, and I don't regret this for a second, I'm not hearing 5 billion different airplanes all talking to ATC at the same time. Anyway, as you see now, we're closing in on 13,000 feet. There it goes. Start to slow the climb rate now. 1,800 feet, 1,700, 16, and continuing to slow down. That was a nice little lightning bolt. You see our airspeed now will climb very quickly because we're no longer climbing in altitude. Turn on the heater for the comfort of our passengers. Beautiful. Fantastic. Not using the Foreflight app on this flight, if you can believe it. Mainly because I forgot to load it up. Now I could load it up right now, but I don't want to drop the desktop in the middle of a flight. Unless you guys want me to. You do? Well, alright. You can see my desktop. Stand by. Let's go to window mode. Let's go to